My name is Cleary. I'm co-founder of Pocket Forests. We have a very low forest cover compared to the rest of Europe. We're about a third of what the rest of Europe would be on average. So our forest cover is around about 11%, and only 2% of that is native trees, and a lot of that native tree cover is being destroyed with invasive species and invasive both plants and animals, deer and rhododendron. So our native woodland is probably the most degraded ecosystem that we have in the country. It really needs to be restored rapidly. We began by talking to people who were doing it in Europe. IVN, an environmental group in the Netherlands, had brought the idea from Asia to Europe in 2015 with their first forests in Utrecht in the Netherlands. Anybody who's doing it loves talking about it and loves sharing the idea with other people and telling them how to do it in their country. It's an idea that works wherever you are because it's based on the plants that would be growing wherever you are. For Ireland, you're looking at our own native plant canon and much smaller geographical area, which made it very simple in the end. Daunting, but simple. I must check the final figure, but I think we're at 130 pocket forests now around the country, most of them in urban areas, some of them extremely small, just the size of a car parking space. And then this would be our largest site, which is around about 100 square meters. Look at what nature does and then do that in urban areas, and that's really what the method is about. So this example here of what we've done in the University of Galway is to compare what is the conventional way of planting trees in cities, which is, as you see, these wider spaced semi-mature trees. And then we've put in a pocket forest here, which is planting much younger 2-year-old whips very closely together in a way that nature would as a forest. And we're trying to compare how the two of them are performing in terms of resilience. Galway is a great place to do this because they have been blasted by 3 of the most ferocious storms we've had since this was planted. And unfortunately, the trees at the top of the pilot project, the wide space trees, have not managed to survive. We've lost about 5 of those trees between a combination of storms and drought and poor soil conditions here, whereas the whips that we planted in December are doing really well. They're managing, they're resilient, they're thriving here in what is a really tough setting for them. So we've actually adapted the tree mix. So initially we were planting everything in the native tree mix, looking again at how the storms are affecting people and storms that are hitting urban areas. We're now going to concentrate on the smaller shrubs and the smaller trees, so there isn't a concern there that these are going to become very tall and become some kind of hazard into the future in a stormier future. Luckily, we have these beautiful small species like hazels and hawthorns, spindles, dog roses, crabapples, rowans, all these really beautiful trees which have incredible biodiversity value. Yeah, there is always something to see. I mean, the hazels are already getting their catkins ready and they'll be there hanging from these bare trees in January. So in that bleak month, when you think everything is dead, you've got your hazels just cheerfully saying, no, we're coming and spring is coming and we're about to put out our leaves. Incredibly beautiful pink berries on spindle, a tiny flat white flower that you wouldn't notice in the summertime, but at this time of the year it's really gorgeous. So yeah, you've got this kind of symphony of colours, of leaves coming back, the excitement of the leaves changing colour as they are at this time of the year, how beautiful a birch can look when it's in its kind of full yellow, autumn mode, and then those leaves feeding the soil, and then the whole cycle beginning again. So it's endlessly interesting. I think it's way more interesting than looking at a lawn and thinking, oh, that needs mowing.